So I had to make this video and share what just happened to me with you all, because when you have 6 kids, stuff happens. And while I'm telling you this story, I'm going to be sipping my tea. I had to make myself some tea in my happy cup, because if I didn't... So I'm at home alone with the 3 youngest ones, Addison, Ashton, and Alexander, ages 5, 3, and 1 respectively. For the purposes of this video, because I do not feel like saying Addison, Ashton, and Alexander the entire time, we will refer to them as A1, 2, and 3. Got that? Good. Let's move on. So the little ones are finishing their lunch, and A3 has taken a poop. Of course, there's nothing unusual about babies taking poops after they eat. They usually do, except this one was massive. And by massive, I mean I needed to put the whole child in the tub. Onesie, pamper, and all. Now, that's not really an issue, because when you have 6 children, you learn to be efficient. And by efficient, I mean I have the power to get 3 little ones bathed, dressed, and in bed in about 15 minutes flat. So bathing one child, simple, not an issue. Now, in bathing A3, I didn't realize that A1 and 2 had made their way upstairs, which was fine because it was nap time anyway. But what caught me off guard was when I hear A1 say to A2, "No, Ashton, mommy's gonna get you." Now, bear in mind, she's doing her best to be discreet, talking in hushed tone. Hushed tone for a 5-year-old, meaning talking like this. But nonetheless, she made an effort to be discreet as to avoid him from being in trouble. Unfortunately, she did not realize that when you say things like that, it causes mother to investigate. At the same time, I'm now finished giving A3 a bath. Now, a little background about my bathing rituals. Whenever I have to give any child a bath, I prepare everything that's needed once they come out of that bath. So in this case, I went ahead and made sure that I had a clean onesie, diaper, and powder, because he had a little bit of a diaper rash, so I needed to put some Gold Bond down there to give him a cooling, healing sensation. And I put all of these things neatly on the nightstand next to my bed so that I can easily get to them when I am dressing the baby. So I walk into the room, and A2 is standing there decorating the nightstand with said powder. And then realizes I'm standing there and puts the powder down as if nothing's happening. So at this point, I'm flaming hot Cheetos, and I have to remember that I'm holding his baby brother lest I throw my child. And in remembering that, I realized my predicament, that while I would like to deal with A2 appropriately, I cannot do so right now because I am also holding a naked A3. I calm myself down as much that I can be calmed, and in laying the baby down, instruct A2 to remove himself from standing on my bed, which he had to do to commit this toddler act of stupidity. And him, being in perfect sound 3-year-old mind and body, was able to register that I was not able to discipline him as I should in that moment. So he ignores me. Okay, do you really want to do this? I proceed to start dressing A3, and with my glare, A2 backs down, sits on the bed, but is still within reach of this powder-laden nightstand. Ashton, get down. I'm dressing his baby brother, and I'm trying not to go hot grits. Ashton, get down. He now senses the severity of the situation and realizes it's a good idea for him to attempt to change tactics, maybe to save me from tapping that butt. So he puts on his cutest little baby voice and goes, "Iron juice." For those of you not up to date on your toddler talk, ion juice translates as "I want juice." So in my calm yet stern voice, I reply, "You're not getting any juice." Now my hands are still busy because I'm finishing up with his baby brother. He throws all that cute stuff aside and decides to try to test me. He takes both hands, sticks them in the powder, and screams, "Ah, juice!" I'm finished with the baby now, and I put him down, and I come back to deal with A2 appropriately. I tap that butt several times, put it in timeout so that I can now clean up this powder mountain he has left on my nightstand. Now he's sitting in timeout screaming his full head off like I'm supposed to care. But this is the funny part. After about 30 seconds, he stops crying, looks directly at me and says, "Mommy, I done." You're done what? What do you mean you're done? No, you're not done. Sit your butt down and time out. "Mommy, I done." Now, mind you, I haven't even started to deal with this powder mountain because I just finished tapping his behind. He jumps up on his feet and screams, "Mommy, I done." Who is he talking to? He's talking to me? This is a joke because you're not talking to me like that. And might I take this time to say that I really, really love my A1 because when it comes to disciplining her brother, she co-signs everything that I do in an effort to try to keep him from catching more. "Ashton, mommy's gonna kill you." So now I have to step to my 3-year-old and make sure that he understands not only are you not getting any juice, but you are now grounded because who are you talking to? But even in that, I know when it's time for me to bring up the reinforcements because he's a boy. And for some reason in his mind, he thinks that I'm short and my husband is not. So now I give him reason to stop and think about his actions. I'm telling Daddy, "Mommy, I done. I got it together." "Oh, you straight now?" "I straight." "Okay, well, I'm glad you're straight, but I'm still going to tell your father about all of this powder that you spilled all over this nightstand." So somewhere in the process of his mind, he figured that he could just backtrack, go back in time as if none of that ever happened. Because the next thing I know, he looks at me and says, "I fix it." "You'll do what?" "I fix it, Mommy." How are you going to fix it? There's powder all over my nightstand. Please, what magical thing do you possess as a 3-year-old that you going to fix the powder on my nightstand? Realizing that he really can't do anything to fix it, he goes and puts himself back in timeout. Only this time he's doing it quietly, giving me time to clean up the mess. It takes me about 2 to 3 minutes to finish cleaning up the mess, all the while he's sitting there in timeout. Nicely, which was great because that's what he should have been doing when I put him there the first time, except that I glance over and I notice this little dude got a cup of juice. And no, A1 didn't go downstairs and slide him some juice. This is the cup of juice that he had from lunch. You see, in cleaning up the mess, what I missed was him slipping away down the steps to get his cup of juice off of the kitchen table and then finding his way back upstairs in timeout with juice at hand as if the juice was there the entire time. And I really, really probably should have fussed at him for that, but daggone it, it was funny. But I did say to him, "You don't touch this powder anymore. Do you understand me? I am not going to come behind you the next time you make a mess like this. I'm just going to leave it for Daddy to see." He looks at me, sips his juice and says, "But Mommy, you fix it."